Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Chris Pritchard News Show. Guess what? What, Chris? Got some news for you. News show, Chris. Are you ready for some news? Cool. Roll titles.
Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show on YouTube. Terms and conditions apply. Don't sue me. This is purely entertainment, not factually correct.
All right, first up in the news, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you've not done already. We're going to hear about this story of a potential Ineos women's team. There's a lot of rumblings going on. A lot of rumblings. Potentially, as I'm editing this, I say me, Louis, as Louis is editing this, potentially this news might be out there. It seems that it's just on the cusp of coming out, but we'll get into that shortly. First up, let's talk about this over the weekend. The Crow race over in Croatia. I should title it with some meaty headline like UCI risking the lives of World Tour riders. And essentially they are. The UCI are risking lives of cyclists simply to benefit their back pockets and us as fans. I don't know you might have seen it across other news outlets, but at the weekend, stage 6 of the Crow race, these were the scenes from the final 3K heading into a finish of a final stage where GC is up for grabs, where there's a stage up for grabs. Take a look. Now, while this is going on, I want you to pick out as many hazards as you can see. Let's call this a hazard perception test. We're cyclists, we're trying to get our World Tour license potentially. This is what we have to do to get that. Let's check out how many hazards we can see. Well, they're cyclists, a whole peloton riding over tram lines. Not just one tram line. How many can we see there? Four tram lines. And they're cutting across. They're going parallel to the tram lines. Again, asking for disaster. Oh, but what's this? They turn a corner and there's a massive bollard in the way. Great success. And if that wasn't all, check out this little climb here. And again, riders are going slower. It's stretching out a little bit, but still, that's beside the point when you've got these little stone bollards in the way to differentiate between the pavement and the road, and the riders are going left, right, forward, back, up, down, just dicing with disaster. Now imagine one rider jumps to the side of one of those, or dodges one, moves across to the pavement, one nearly hitting a pedestrian, and then two, a cyclist behind them doesn't see it, hits the bollard, goes head over heels, head first into another one of those bollards. It is only a matter of time before one of those riders is killed. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. It is going to happen at some point. The way these riders race these races, the aggression that they must use to try and be there to win a race means that they are willing to take as many risks as possible in doing so, because a win could potentially mean a big bonus. A win could mean an extension on your contract. A win could essentially get you another contract with another team that will allow you to race for another year, support your family, keep you in your apartment in Monaco, whatever it is. So these riders are willing to take those risks, but eventually someone's going to die. Let's go back. Tour of Poland 2019, we saw Björg Lambrecht losing his life on a straight piece of road. There was no road furniture, there was nothing that stood out that would ever give you a reason to think that that bit of road was dangerous. Unfortunately, he went off to the side. He went down I think it was a storm drain and ended up losing his life. It's beggars belief that the UCI allowed this to happen. And it can only be down to one thing. Moolah, cash money, Benjamins, Reddies, da paper. Because why else would you allow this to happen in the final 3K of a race? It'd be bad enough right back at the start where they could potentially control it and they could say, listen guys, getting dangerous here, calm down, get yourselves through it and then race. But they're saying, there's 160k or whatever, get yourselves as knackered as possible, attack each other as much as possible, and then we're going to give you a really, really difficult run into a finish where there's going to be cobbles, there's going to be tram lines, there's going to be bollards on apexes of turns, there's going to be bollards at the side of a road. You can jump to the side of them if you want, but potentially you might hit a pedestrian or a bin at the side of the road. Listen, go have at it, see what happens. And it wasn't just that race. There was a race over in Belgium as well. Famenne Ardennes Classic. Again, on the run-in. Look at this tweet from Brian Smith. Riders are coming round a right-hand bend. They're all pushed to the left-hand side of the road. And right on the outside of that are some bollards to separate the path from the road. One rider moves to the left. And again, you only need one rider not concentrating, just missing his braking point, just thinking he's slightly somewhere else on the road, and bang, they hit them, potentially killing themselves, potentially killing some other people in the peloton. I've said this before in other videos that we've made. The UCI aren't going to do anything about it till someone actually dies. End of. I can guarantee that. And it will only be a matter of time before someone gets killed. So, with that being said, give me your thoughts on this. What can happen? Even if it's something as stupid as just some tape. I know it costs money to put barriers up. So, just some, police crime scene tape those up so they can't go down that side. And if they do by mistake, they end up hitting the tape, they end up slowing up to the point where they have to stop and rejoin that way, rather than doing what he did and move to this. Oh, my God. Oh, it scares me. It scares me. Anyway, leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about the UCI and this safety issue. Then next up, let's talk about this story. It kind of broke yesterday. Well, it did for me anyway. Daniel Benson of Velo News tweeting out this tweet saying, waking up to several sources telling me that Ineos is making moves into women's cycling and that Pauline Ferrand-Prévot has signed. 100% true, one source tells Velo News. Oh. That's big news. Huge news. Team Ineos coming to the Women's World Tour. Comment straight away. What do you think? Game changing? Don't forget, we've got the likes of Jumbo-Visma, we've got Movistar there, but it does certainly feel like Team Ineos moving into the Women's World Tour is going to create the buzz, the attention, the intangible, untangible, the X factor that the women's cycling scene needs right now, especially if they bring Pauline Ferrand-Prévot to it as well. Esteemed mountain bike rider, she's jumped in and out of road cycling, but if she comes to Team Ineos, they've obviously paid her a lot of dough if they do, then she's going to concentrate on the road scene. She's got to concentrate on the road scene, right? Unless they're going to allow her to do everything. But they're going to want results out of somebody like that on the road. So we're going to see the development of her career. I think she's 30 now, but potentially Annemiek van Vleuten goes on forever, like a Duracell battery. Ferrand-Prévot could be exactly the same as that. But yeah, honestly, this is huge news. But then again, Jumbo-Visma coming to the scene, Canyon SRAM, Movistar being in the women's scene. We've already got top-tier teams from the men's peloton over there. But is this because I'm British and I have an affiliation with Team Ineos to a degree that I'm excited to see it, that I think it will be game-changing? Or is it not? Because Team Ineos may have the biggest budget. They may be seen to be one of the biggest teams, but in recent years they've not been the team to beat at the world stage for men. Yes, they're always up there, but you look more to the likes of Jumbo, Team UAE, as those teams that are just a little above everybody else. You don't really say that with Ineos anymore. You kind of say Ineos are, let's say, second tier in the tier of those World Tour teams. But who, if we could have a dream team, Team Ineos, in the women's peloton, who would be in it? Give me 8 riders. List them down below. I want your content. What? I want your content. I want your content. I want you.